number of years up in Hebron and many years down here in Beersheba. And in Genesis 20, a treaty was made here. At that time, Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his forces, said to Abraham, God is with you in everything you do. Now swear to me here before God that you will not deal falsely with me or my children or my descendants. Show to me in the country where you are living as an alien the same kindness that I have shown to you. Abraham said, I swear it. Then Abraham complained to Abimelech about a well of water that Abimelech's servants had seized. But Abimelech said, I don't know who has done this. You did not tell me, and I heard about it only today. So Abraham brought sheep and cattle and gave them to Abimelech, and the two men made a treaty. Abraham set apart 7 ewe lambs from the flock, and Abimelech asked Abraham, What's the meaning of these 7 ewe lambs that you've set apart by themselves? He replied, Accept these 7 lambs from my hand as a witness that I dug this well. So the place was called Beersheba, because the two men swore an oath there. After the treaty had been made at Beersheba, Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his forces, returned to the land of the Philistines. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and there he called upon the name of the Lord, the eternal God. And Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines for a long time. Then after Abraham was tested by willing to offer up Isaac, we are told that the angel of the Lord called to Abraham from heaven a second time and said, I swear by myself, declares the Lord, that because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand in the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies, and through your offspring all nations of the earth will be blessed, because you have obeyed me. Now that was up on Mount Moriah, which is Jerusalem. Then Abraham returned to his servants, and they set off together for Beersheba, and Abraham stayed in Beersheba. So this is where Abraham spent a lot of his time walking around, as well as his sons that followed him.
Honey, you were reading from where?
This is from Genesis 21 and 22. And by the way, before that tree was made, this is where Isaac is born, and then Ishmael is sent away. And Ishmael goes down to Paran, desert of Paran, which is south of here, about about an hour and a half. So this whole area then would have been his area.
Now, if you remember the land of the Philistines is to the west from here, along the coast. I think the closest Philistine town would have been Ashkelon, Ashdod, and of course Gaza. Those are the Philistine towns. They were seagoing people that lived along the coast. This town had a very specific importance. Unlike all the other towns of Samaria and Judea, which were within maybe a few hours of each other, or perhaps maybe just a day's journey from each other, there was nothing here down in the Negev. There was nothing here. So this had to be a very strategic town, but also a stronghold, because this was like an outpost town where many of the armies of Israel going out to do missions, say to the south of here or to the north of here, this was a place where they would replenish themselves and get supplies in either route to the south, east, or the north from this area. So this wasn't just a plain city, it was also a supply depot and a garrison town here in the middle of nowhere, because we're really days' journey from any major cities around us. So therefore it had to be a heavily fortified city, especially during the time of Hezekiah. We already went to Lachish, which is not that far away from here, but during that period of time also, Hezekiah had to fortify this city to protect it against the Syrians, who were trying to make sort of like a banana around Jerusalem to attack it from the south. Real important city during the time of Hezekiah, sometime around 720 BC.
We're up in the top of the tower at Beersheba. As you can see, quite a bit of the hill. Looking to the south.
Right.
He thought he was getting out of my picture, and,
And he was right
his
in
head
it.
was right in the middle of it.